Food Science and Technology, Faculty of Food Science and Technology, University Sabah, Malaysia Sabah, sorry. And the third one is Dr. Nurfitri Ekantari, is a researcher and lecturer at Department of Fisheries, Faculty of Agriculture. His research interest about fish processing and fishery products. In this summer course, I would like to give the 3 speakers. For each speaker, the time is 15 minutes. So the 3 speakers give explanation and give lecture, and then after that we have to give question and answer. So I'd like to invite Dr. Noranizan to give lecture for the first time, and 30 minutes for you. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Amir Husni, for the introduction. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me get this clear. We have 30 minutes to speak. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, because it wasn't clear what you said. Okay, so I would like to thank Universiti Gadjah Mada for this opportunity to share some knowledge with the summer course. And the topic given to me was non-thermal technology to promote clean seafood products. Can you see my slide?
Okay, sure.
Okay. All right. So my name is Noranizan Adzahan, or people call me Nora, and I'm from Universiti Putra, Malaysia. And this is the presentation scope. I will talk only a little bit on consumer demands, and then we'll move on to clean label movement, and then we'll look at the technologies that's associated with clean label efforts. So basically the outcome that we would like to have from this short session would be to be able to understand how technology promotes clean label efforts. So if a little kid like this goes to the supermarket or to the mall, he would be wondering, why is there so many products on the shelf? And this is the shampoo aisle. And why is it that shampoos have different variations to it? So basically, the variations are related to consumer demands, because consumers, they love options, and manufacturing companies will have to compete among themselves to provide a product that is best fit in with the needs of consumers, because they do have varying needs. Some is allergic to certain chemicals, some like certain flavor, some wanted different functions of the product. So if we talk about consumer demands, there's a never-ending list to it. It will go on and on. And what we would like to pay attention to today is the one with the yellow Mr. Smiley. That's the clean label here. It is one of the demands by consumers. And those in pink, the pink Mr. Smileys are clean label friendly terms. These are normal terms that we hear every day. And we as consumer, we also have a preference for certain things listed here. So what is clean label? Because 20 years ago, clean label is not heard of, but it's becoming more and more familiar today. It is actually a movement led by the consumers. So it started off with consumers, and later it was embraced by the manufacturing companies, by food companies, especially the large ones. But it all focuses on health and well-being of consumers, because when we talk about food manufacturing, it's always mass-produced. So when it's being mass-produced, there are so many things that is being included into the products to make it stable. by the time it reaches the consumers. So this has become a trend, and this is a trend which is very centric on consumers. So basically, there is no proper definition or legal term to this word because it's just a movement, and somebody just call it clean label. But basically, what it is it is responsible food manufacturing. That is basically the bigger umbrella of clean label. So there was a survey done in 2021. Based on this survey, basically consumers look at clean label as something healthy and good for their well-being. So they seek out health benefits. They try not to buy products with chemical sounding ingredients. They only want familiar ingredient names. So it's all about taking care of themselves, about being healthy. If we look at Google Trends and compare the two terms, clean label and responsible food, over about 20 years, 2004 until 2022, the trend for responsible food increases tremendously, especially the last 5 years. For clean label, it has been increasing, but not as much as responsible food. But what it's telling us here is that the term clean label is used by a certain region or certain parts of the world, while other parts of the world still embrace clean label without calling it clean label. So they call it responsible food. This map is showing top 5 clean label startups in the world, and it's mostly concentrated in the United States and some parts of Europe. In other parts of the world, it's not listed, not because it's not being embraced, but because they're not calling it clean label. Some manufacturers are naturally responsible, so they don't want to use the claim. Yeah, it doesn't mean that in Asia, the clean label effort is not happening. It is happening, but it's not being called that way. But let's understand what clean label is first. There are two parts, the orange and the green part. The orange part is clean and the green part is clear. So some school of thought say the orange part is clean label 1.0, while the green part is clean label 2.0. But with whatever it is, it's telling us that consumers, they do not want artificial ingredients. They want only fresh ingredients. So if it's fresh ingredients, meaning it's locally produced or it's close to where we are, and short ingredient list. And they don't want to see if it's supposed to be water. In water, you have water plus, plus, plus. It should be just water. For the green part, it's basically clarity of information or transparency of the manufacturing companies to consumers. So ingredient origin is one of it. If it's a meat-based product, consumers would want to know, where did this meat come from? How was it farmed? Were they happy cows or unhappy cows? Minimally processed is related to manufacturing. They would want the product to be long-lasting, but it's not overly processed. So basically, they're looking at clean, lean, and green. Burger King is a fast food restaurant, and fast food restaurant is known, is always associated with unhealthy food products, but Burger King too is now moving towards clean label effort. So they're trying to not use artificial colors, flavors, and also preservatives in their product. Of course, it's still not healthy food, but at least the effort is already starting somewhere. That's Burger King. There's another company, which is Gorton's, famous for their seafood product. And this is from their website. They said, our mission remains to bring the goodness of the sea, meaning good source of material, to everyone. that same commitment extends to the preservation of the planet as well, not just they're supplying food that comes from good sources, they are also trying to take care of the planet and heal the planet. That's why their Trusted Catch program is more than a certification. It is a constantly evolving commitment to real change. Commitment to real change. Those are keywords in the industry and on the water, meaning for their business and for the earth. Gortons utilizes the latest scientific data and best practices. Best practices is another keyword to ensure that seafood is responsibly sourced, very important, responsibly made, responsibly packaged for generations to come. For generations to come, another keyword to pay attention to. So this is a big, big commitment by Gortons. Okay, let's look at this list of ingredients. These are all basically the same thing, but with different names. What it is vitamin C. So to consumers, vitamin C is easily understood rather than ascorbic acid or the other longer names. So according to Food and Beverage Insider, 76% of people are more likely to buy products with ingredients they know and trust. So vitamin C versus ascorbic acid, they would prefer vitamin C. Okay, this is oyster sauce coming from 3 brands, and it's from 3 different bottles, and the list of ingredients are very different. Okay, A, B, and C, which list is the cleanest? If you want to answer this question, you can just write in the chat box. I will give you a few seconds to digest this information. Anyone? Oops, okay, I will go back to the previous slide. So basically C is considered the cleanest. Although C is cleanest, it can be cleaner. Okay, if we pay attention to it, it can be much more clean compared to what is listed here. So consumers nowadays would like to see short ingredient list. So from cradle to carton disclosure is basically, it's all about transparency. And this is a diagram for cause and effect, why there's clean label demand. So basically for sustainability, it's about ecosystem losing its balance due to human activities and including food manufacturing companies. And that is also disrupting the species, over-processing of certain food products and use of ingredients with hazards. In terms of transparency, what ingredients they use, is it halal, is it not halal, is it synthetic, is it natural, what are the sources of this ingredient, in terms of safety and effort. This is the second part. Effort and social responsibility is basically the green part of the clean label definition or the clean label illustration, which I showed earlier. So in terms of effort, some companies are not proactive in displaying information about their effort to be clean or about certification, what is done right, what is not done right, or about their common practices. How about did they have GMP or not? If they have, then they have the certificates, but some companies do not have the certificates, and so consumers wonder what is going on in the company. And in terms of animal welfare, this is related to animal products. How was it raised? Was it free-range chicken? Was it farm-raised fish, or is it marine fish? Is it kosher? Is it halal? Is it vegetarian? How about livelihood of people in the area? Is this company affecting the livelihood of people or not? Okay, if we look at this photo, improper waste management, this is a photo in Malaysia. a contaminated or polluted river due to shrimp farm activities. So waste from the shrimp farm is being released into this river, and this is a river which the orang asli, we call it, or some community, indigenous community, is getting their food from. So when this is polluted, it's affecting their lives, affecting their income. And there's also a report of certain manufacturing companies using child labor. So this is also an issue related to clean label. That's why if there are certification programs, manufacturing companies would like to, are encouraged to certify their products, because through certification programs, they will be audited. So transparency will be high there. Farm raised versus wild caught, that's another issue. Remember, point of origin of the main source of material. This is what consumers are asking for, the information. Is it farm raised? Is it wild caught? If it's wild caught, how was it caught? Was it using good animal welfare practices or not? And lack of clear standards available. Natural versus all natural. What does that mean, all natural? Natural is natural. So what's the meaning of all natural? Whole versus line caught, sustainably harvested and all. So there needs to be a clear standard to all the terms being used, so that consumers could really understand what it means. The good thing now is that many restaurants, many companies have already started using bycatches and also underutilized fish species to be included into their product development processes or their menu in the restaurants. So this is a good example of clean label effort by some companies. Salmon burgers, okay, this is 100% traceable product because this company offers door-to-door services. They catch the fish, they make the product and they deliver the product. So if there's anything wrong with the product, it's easy to trace because it's 100% traceable. Cooked shrimp in this photo is referring to processed products. This is an effort to make products more convenient for the consumers, but sometimes people overdo this. If it's done correctly, it will be minimal processing, but if it's being overdone, sometimes the shrimps are rubbery, then it beats the purpose of minimal processing. The fish sticks on the right side, it's being labeled here sustainable seafood, but there needs to be more information on what they mean by that. So transparency issue. And all of these products are being packaged. So food packaging is another element of clean label. And food packaging is used not just to hold the product, protect the product, but it's also used to communicate information about the product, the company, and the company's efforts to consumers. Another function of food packaging is to control quality of the product. For example, seawell. Seawell produces shrimp, and there's excess water is being absorbed down here, separated from the shrimp so that the shrimp could last longer. So a study done says that for scallops, it provided a 3-log reduction in aerobic bacteria until almost 2 weeks of storage. So this is active packaging and it does help for certain products. Okay, oyster shucking. We know it's not easy to shuck oyster, especially using the hand. So, and using the hand, how only few oysters can be shucked in a minute. And of course, people know the shucker's fingers. There's a term for it, shucker's fingers. This is always related to injured hands due to shucking oysters. So there's technology which could shuck oyster over 100 oyster per minute, and injury-free and touch-free. So we could use technology for this purpose. And for deshelling lobster, for example, If we deshell manually, we cannot even remove the tentacles here, or whatever you call it, these fine parts of the meat. So this is 100% yield, and we have the technology that could be used to achieve 100% yield. For oyster here at the bottom, the one on the left is hand shark oyster. The meat has been removed, but there are leftover meat of the oyster stuck to the shell. So it's not 100% yield, but photo on the right side is definitely 100% yield. And it was sharked using a technology called HPP. So what is HPP? HPP is non-thermal food preservation technology, which uses cold water and high pressure to inactivate microorganisms. And the effect is you retain the nutritional and sensory profile of the product. So it's like the invisible technique. It's not retained in the product. You apply pressure, and after processing, it's gone. So it's not part of the ingredient. It's definitely a clean label effort. So the difference between a HPP product and a product which was not exposed to HPP is that the microbial counts are lower. So the products remains close to the natural product. The only difference is it's safer than the natural product which was not treated. So it's a clear mark of quality and definitely a clean label effort. So there are many names to HPP, but for this session today, we're going to use only the term HPP. And these are examples of some of the equipments available. The one on the top right corner is basically one of those smallest commercial unit. This is a 55-liter unit, and we do have this unit in UPM. How high is this pressure when we say high pressure processing? So how high is high? So we know Everest is very high. So if we go up 8,000 meters to the top of Everest, that is low pressure. So we need to go down further than the distance to get to Everest. So we need to go about 10,000 meters down to the Challenger Deep, which is very deep. I think all of you know what Mariana Trench is. So where we are at right now, you're sitting, you're standing, you're lying down, is at 0.1 megapascal. So we want to go 6,000 times downwards to get to 600 megapascal. Okay, so this is the pressure that we use for HPP. If you cannot imagine how high this pressure is, imagine two large elephants standing on a 10-cent coin. Okay, and during high school, we learned that pressure is force over area. So the lower the area, then you get the higher the pressure. So units for pressure, some people use MPa, bar, and PSI. For this session today, I'm going to use MPa. And for every increase in 100 MPa, there's about 3 degrees Celsius increase. But still, for non-thermal processing that HPP is not going to affect the product in terms of heat. Because if there is increase in temperature, it's only a few degrees increase. So there are 3 principles that's attached to the HPP. The first one is related to compression and decompression of materials. The second principle is about reorganization of molecules. And the third principle is the most important principle because it's about compression and uniform pressure. So pressure comes from all sides, from the bottom, from the top, left, right, every side, but the pressure is all the same from each side. So you don't get dented bottles after treatment. So each side will give similar pressure. Okay, normally for food, we use between 300 to 800 megapascal to inactivate microorganisms. So at 100 megapascal, nothing happens. At 200 megapascal, there's some effect on the microbes. And after 600 megapascal, the microbe will be inactivated. So, and the total temperature, if there are increase in temperature rise, it won't be above 40 degrees Celsius. So the advantage for this condition is that microbial metabolism is adversely affected, while shelf life is positively affected. You can extend the shelf life of food product by doing this. Okay, this is how it looks like. You put your sample, your products here in these baskets, and it goes into the whole system, the vessel. So in the vessel, water will be filled because we use pressure by water. So water is the source of pressure here. And then once pressure is increased, it will be hold for a few minutes and then pressure will be released. At that time, you will get clean products or inactivated products if there are microbes in there. So here you have products with germs and here you get clean products. Oops, sorry. So these are several examples of what HPP is commonly used for. So for meat products, it's a steady technology. Juices is all-time favorite. Seasonal for dips. Wet salad on the rise, and infant food, baby food is also on the rise. For pet food, it's a newbie. For dairy products, the development is a little bit slow. It's still at the R&D stage because there are issues with protein products. And then for ready-to-eat meal, this is the way forward, which many companies are looking into. So the purpose of HPP is basically pasteurization. Pay attention here, I'm saying pasteurization and not sterilization. Okay, so pasteurization, after treatment, the products must go into the fridge. It must be refrigerated. So decontamination or reinforcement post-packaging, oyster shucking for seafood, meat extraction, clean label alternative, and some companies use HPP to fulfill export requirements. It shortens the quarantine time when they're exporting the product. And these are some of the advantages related to HPP. Okay, pressure use is commonly for pasteurization is 300 to 600, but for other purposes like shucking is at lower pressure, 100 to 200 or 250. For liquid infusion, it varies. Like I said, it's only a pasteurization process, not a sterilization process. So if we're worried about spores, then it must be combined with thermal treatment. So you use 700 to 800 pressure, combine it with heat, then you can deactivate the spores. As is, it cannot inactivate spores. So two different parts that we have to pay attention to: the process, HPP process, two parameters, pressure and time. And for food, water activity and pH are the two parameters that's very critical. Okay, here are the relationship between pressure and also which is affected most at different pressure regions. Okay. Here is an article showing that water activity needs to be monitored because if it's lower than 0.86.
Excuse me, 3 minutes later.
Okay, thank you very much. If it's lower than 0.86, there's a protective effect and the high pressure effect won't be maximized. Okay. These are example of seafood products, chilled pre-cooked crab meat and ready-to-cook seafood for all high-pressure products. And this is how it's affecting seafood products. The microbes are controlled and biogenic amines are also controlled under this condition. This is for lobster. You see, it's also 100% yield. And this is for raw and pre-cooked lobster. Sometimes in the market, they sell pre-cooked lobster. And when you HPP it, the best would be 304 minutes. Yeah, this is for claw meat. So this is over processed and this is just nice at 300. Molars opening, like I said, oysters is 100% yield, and you can also reduce the microbial count. So it's much more hygienic than manual shucking. So it reduces labor, improves productivity, and improves safety. It is also possible to use with snails. And also in Malaysia, we have what they call the shell out. Okay, so HPP has the potential for that. For fish products or protein-based products, pressure is a critical element because there's a threshold. You see there's color and texture differences there. This is ready-to-eat products. Microbial counts are also being reduced here, and after 10 days here, compared to without treatment. So this is at 400 megapascal. Other technologies related to seafood industries, basically what we're doing in the lab is using ultrasound technology for calcium production. And right now we're trying to scrub off calcium from these shells, okay, to produce calcium for fortification or enrichment. Another effort is using supercritical CO2 for colorants, either to extract colorants from non-seafood materials and put it on seafood products, or extract from seafood materials onto other food products. But this is very premium product. So basically the take-home message is that non-thermal technologies could support clean label effort, and it has potential to add value to the seafood industry, and post-harvest losses could definitely be reduced. That's all. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Dr. Nora. There are good explanation about non-thermal technology to promote seafood clean processing. I think it's very interesting topic. How about the demand, consumer demand, clean label and clear label, and to solve this demand, there are some technology, HPP, also ultrasound technology, and also supercritical carbon dioxide. Okay, we'll discuss more about this topic after this speaker finished the lecture. And we will continue to the second speaker. I would like to invite Dr. Nurul Huda from Universiti Malaysia Sabah. He will give us a course about fish fermentation technology for sustainable diet. 30 minutes for you, Dr. Nurul, please.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Amir. First, I would like to say thank you for the opportunity given to participate, to contribute in this virtual summer course organized by the Department of Fisheries, Faculty of Agriculture, Universiti Gadjah Mada, Indonesia. So that the title of my presentation is about the fish fermentation technology for sustainable diet, but I would like to focus for Malaysian people, because we have many types of the fish fermentation product. Then maybe not able to share all of the product within the given time 30 minutes. So I just want to focus the available commercial fish fermented product that normally consumed by Malaysian people. Can I share my slide, Dr. Amir?
Okay, please.
So I hope I can finish within 30 minutes, yeah, the slide. So I have only 46 slides related with the fish fermentation technology that available in Malaysia and familiar among the Malaysian people. So you can see my slide.
Okay, clear. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this is the title given for me doing this virtual summer course. So let me introduce first about the University Malaysia Sabah, maybe because maybe some participants, especially Indonesian student, maybe not really familiar yet with it with the University Malaysia Sabah. Because most of them familiar only with university around the Peninsula Malaysia, like such as UPM and also UKM and UM. So this is the Malaysia Sabah. So Universiti Malaysia Sabah is located in the north side of the Borneo Island. Yeah. So actually, the campus, the main campus is at Kota Kinabalu, the main capital of the Sabah state. And actually, we have the 3 campus. The main campus is the Kota Kinabalu, and the international finance faculty campus in the island, Labuan campus, and the faculty of the sustainable agriculture, which consists the agriculture and animal science or animal husbandry, is located in Sandakan. Yeah, so you can see from this slide the location of the University Malaysia Sabah nearby to the Philippines, nearby to the Philippines, because they're not part of the Borneo Island. And this is a very beautiful campus because I already work with 3 universities in Malaysia. Previously, I worked in University Saint Malaysia for 12 years. After that, I moved to University Sultan Zainal Abidin, also one of the public university in Peninsula Malaysia for 2 years. And then now I'm with University Malaysia Sabah, Sabah. Very beautiful campus, very good design, very eco-friendly campus. So I'm part of the faculty of food science and nutrition. So it's a common, maybe other faculty is also available, such as economic, engineering, medical, and also science, something like that. It's very common. Just to give some introduction about University of Malaysia Sabah. So as we know, the fermented fish product have been consumed since time, meaning the product is not considered new. The product is already consumed for a long time ago, especially in Southeast Asia, and not only for the fish fermented product, but also for the plant-based product, but for the south part of the South Asian, so we are more familiar with the fermented fish product. So normally for the production of the fermented fish product, normally use marine fish, but freshwater fish also used as a raw material for the production of the fermented product. So besides the fin fish, whether it's marine fish or the freshwater fish, the shellfish and crustacea also can be used for as a raw material for the production of the fermented fish product. Then doing the processing some salt and also some rice also used also added to cause the fermentation and the way to prevent the putrefaction, to produce a specific flavor and taste of the product. So again, actually the main objective of the fermentation of the fish product is to provide the desired taste and specific flavor. Perception is a secondary benefit, but the main objective is to produce a product with specific taste and flavor. And then addition of the carbohydrate, as mentioned previously, is to support the growth of the beneficial microorganism. And then also the addition of the salt. So two main ingredients that normally added doing the production of the fermented fish product is a carbohydrate, normally raising rice, and salt to select the desired bacteria, eliminating the spoiler, and also to prevent the putrefaction. So the problem with the fermented fish product is because of the high salt content. So the high salt content is limit the consumption. So why normally the fish fermented fish product only as a condiment only. I cannot use as a main dish, only as a condiment only. So to use as a flavor or taste enhancer, often to serve for rice. Normally it is due to the high salt content. So you can see, as mentioned previously, we can define, because normally for the fermented product can use whether the material from plant-based or for animal-based. Normally for the plant-based is belong to the soybean. The raw material is soybean, fermented soybean, ketchup. And for the animal-based normally belong to fish product. So we can see from this picture that normally for the soybean-based fermented product, normally available on the not part of the Asia, but for the Southeast Asia, it mostly used for fermented product is available related with the fish fermented product. So this is the classification in order to make easy to understand the classification of the fish fermented product. One of the scientists suggests the classification of the product. So as I mentioned, two types of the ingredient normally added during the production of the fermented fish product. So normally, if just fish just add with salt, and also depend. So we call it a shiokara. So depend whether it's a liquid form or fermented. So if liquid form, we call it fish sauce. After we mix with salt and let the fermentation conducted, and then the product become liquid, and then we produce a fish sauce. And then, but if the form of the product is still in the fermented product, we call it shiokara paste. But if we add with the steamed rice, and we call product as Nurfitri. So normally we can classify the fish fermented product based on the four classification, whether belong to Nurfitri. If after we add with salt and add again with the boiled rice, and then the product is considered belong to Nurfitri. But if the product only mixed with salt and then become a liquid, and called product as a fish sauce. Sometimes they call it Gadjah in Korea. So, but if the form of the product is still paste form, communicated form, and they call a product as a shiokara paste. So the distribution of the what is also different. Different to the area, also depend to the raw material used during the production of a different product. So normally in Malaysia, the raw material for the production of the fermented fish product is belong to marine fish. Of course, one of the product is freshwater fish, but most of the product used for the production of the fermented fish product belong to marine fish. In general, Malaysian people, they take more marine fish rather than freshwater fish. So actually, the contribution of the fermented fish in daily dish of Malaysian people is not much. In only 1%, something like that. So why, as I mentioned previously, that fermented fish normally used as a condiment, as a flavor enhancer in the daily plate of the Malaysian people due to the high concentration of the salt. So we can divide the fermented products that are available in Malaysia to the 5 types of the product, but normally only consists of 4. The another product is only available in Sabah, but the main 4 product is available in the Peninsula. So the main type of the fermented product available in Malaysia belong to shrimp paste or belacan or terasi. followed by the fermented anchovy, we call budu, and pickled shrimp, pincalo, and fermented freshwater or bekasam. Previously, the contribution of the shrimp paste is very big, is very dominant, around 85%. But currently, the contribution of the shrimp paste is quite decreased, and replaced by the fermented anchovy or budu. Budu is more popular among Malaysian people. So this is the graph distribution of the fermented fish product that available in Malaysia and provide a sustainable diet for the Malaysian people. The fermented anchovy is normally produced on the east coast of the Malaysia, for Kelantan, Terengganu, the Kelantan, and Terengganu here. But the fermented freshwater normally produced around the Penang area and Perak. And shrimp paste, cincalo, normally available produced in around Melaka, and also for the pickled shrimp, Melaka, Johor, and also Selangor. Specific fermented freshwater product is also available in Sabah. We call it Poso, but the contribution is not too high. Only popular among the local Sahaban people. The product only popular among the local Sahaban people. So why for the fermented freshwater product, Poso is not available around the peninsula of Malaysia, only available around the Sabah market. So this is a list of the fermented fish products that are available and consumed among the Malaysian people. Shrimp paste or belacan, or maybe in Indonesia we call it terasi, and fermented anchovy we call it budu. Budu. This is different because in Indonesia we also have budu. Budu in Indonesia is different. Budu in Indonesia is also a specific available produced around the West Sumatra people. Sumatra people is a budu, but a different product if we compare them. Fermented anchovy that available in Peninsula Malaysia. So pickled shrimp product atau cincalo, and then fermented freshwater product, called is a bekasam, and fermented freshwater from the Sabah, we call as boso. So let me introduce more specific how to produce a different product. Then this product actually is transformed from the traditional product to more modern with a good packaging technology. Then the product is only enter the market, enter the supermarket, then more easy for the people to process this kind of product. Then the producer try to attract of consumer by using attractive color for the packaging, and then look like the product is more modern with a good packaging technology and attractive color in order to attract more people to buy this kind of the product. And then different brand is available, different brand is available, and sometimes they put together when you sell in order to promote this kind of the product among Malaysian people. So the first product is considered belong to the second largest share of the fermented fish product is belong to belacan, because I mentioned currently the largest share of the fermented fish product is belong to budu. Budu is more popular among Malaysian. Previously yes, belacan or terasi, but for this time being, the budu is considered as a larger share of the fermented fish product in Malaysia. So the belacan physically is a thick salt paste with a strong pungent shrimp odor. So meaning the raw material of the kind of the shrimp paste is belong to the small shrimp Acanthus species. In Malaysia it's called as udang baring or udang geraga. So maybe in Indonesia it's called udang, I think udang rebon, will be udang rebon for in Indonesia. is called udang rebon. And this kind of belacan normally used as condiment, used as flavor ingredient in many Malaysian dishes. So this the common form of the belacan is the brown color of the belacan comes with different form, but the most important thing the producer try to attack the attention from the customer by using a different attractive color of the packaging, and then try to develop the use of this belacan in different product, like used as ingredient for produce for the production of the chicken drumstick, fried chicken drumstick with some belacan there. And also for the nasi goreng with some belacan, something like that, in order to attract more people to use this kind of the belacan of shrimp paste. So this is how to process the belacan shrimp paste in Malaysia. So fresh small shrimp is washed with butter and then mixed with salt in ratio 10 to 20 to 2 or 10 to 1, then sun dry and pound in past to the meat mincer, pressed again to silicon content and fermented for 7 days. After that, after the first fermentation, is sun dry again and pound to pass to the meat mincer and pressed tightly into silicon content, and after that proceed with the second fermentation. Because sometimes the fermentation can be only one single process fermentation, and sometimes can be 2 cycle of fermentation. And so depend to the quality that need to produce by the manufacturer, by the producer. But most of the time they conduct 2 times of the fermentation, and to achieve the desired fine texture, because normally if the fermentation only conduct 1 time, maybe the desired fine texture is not there. So after the second fermentation, then the product is ready because the texture is quite final and then ready to enter to the market. So the process, how they conduct the processing for the production of the shrimp paste, mixed with salt, and then put the container, sun dry, put the container, and then conduct the fermentation. So as mentioned, fermentation can be 2 times, can be 2 cycles of the fermentation in order to produce a very fine texture of the shrimp paste. So this is some guideline in order to control the quality of the shrimp paste. The Malaysia government already put the regulation for the quality characteristic of the belacan. So they put the Malaysian Food Act regulation and state that the belacan should be contain not less than 50% of salt and 24% of the protein. So meaning the minimum amount of the protein must be 24%, and then should be not contain more than 40% water and 30% of ash. So this is the regulation that is set in Malaysian Food Act for the belacan. So according to some research, some of the products already fulfill the regulation as stated in the Malaysian Food Act. As I mentioned here, belacan label brand A fulfill the regulation because the protein content is more than 24%, because the protein content must be not less than 24%. 24% is a minimum protein content that must be available in the belacan product. So the many type of bacteria are play a role in the fermentation of belacan. According to some reports, the Bacillus, Pediococcus, Lactobacillus, Sarcina, Mycococcus, Clostridium, Bifidobacterium, Clostridium, and Cyanobacteria are reported exist in the belacan product. And according to some report, the around 68% of the commercial belacan consists come with the bacterial load is around 1.9 to 10.4 the total plate count, but for around 14% come with little bit higher total plate count, when reach 1 to 10 5, but still below the standard 10 power 7 as the highest microbial load for the fishery product. So the next product is a budu. The budu is currently the largest share of the fermented fish product in Malaysia. As mentioned, Fisheries belacan, Fisheries shrimp paste, but the current being the larger share of the fermented fish product in Malaysia is belong to budu. Meaning budu is more popular among Malaysian rather than the belacan. This budu different with belacan. Belacan is a committed product. Budu is a liquid product. It's that one liquid that produced by the fermentation of the marine anchovy, Steleporus, or ikan bilis, or maybe in Indonesia you call it Ekantari. By using the main raw material used for the production of the budu is ikan teri, ikan anchovies. The main raw material used for the production of the budu, but other fish also can use, but normally producer they prefer to use only to use the anchovy as a raw material for the production of the budu. In Thailand, similar product is also available, but in Thailand they use the sardine as a raw material. So why, if the product is available in the market, in the supermarket, and then one product belong to the Malaysian budu and another product is belong to Thailand budu, the raw material is different. So for the Thailand budu, they use a sardine as a raw material, but for the Malaysian budu, normally they use the anchovy as a raw material. And this kind of product is used in many dishes and recipes in Malaysia by Malaysian people. So it's the form you can see the liquid dark brown liquid that normally use condiment, use a condiment or flavor ingredient in many dish and recipes in Malaysia. So the bottle can be normally 200 milliliter to 500 milliliter. The volume of the product that are available in the market. The product is very, very famous now among the Malaysian people, not only among the Kelantan and Terengganu people, but also in whole Malaysian people. So it's a way how to produce a budu. So start with a fresh anchovy. So the raw material might be the fresh anchovy, fresh one, and mix with salt, the ratio 3 to 2 or 3 to 1, and then fermentation. So fermentation can be different. Can be 3 months, can be 12 months. So depend to the quality looking for. But for the premium quality, normally the fermentation need to conduct for 12 months or more than 9 months. But if we can shorten the fermentation only for 3 months, but the quality is not there. For the premium quality, need to conduct fermentation for longer time. Can be 12 months. And then after 12 months, the product can become liquid, and then we need to separate, to collect the drug or liquid, which called the unprocessed budu. And then this kind of unprocessed budu need to add with tamarind juice, palm sugar, and some ingredient. And then boil. We need to conduct boiling process, filter, cool, and conduct bottling, and ready for the marketing of the product. So this is the way how to produce the product. Then the fresh anchovy need to mix with salt and then conduct the fermentation. So normally they use the big container, whether from cement or maybe for plastic, for the fermentation. As mentioned, fermentation can be 3 months, can be 12 months, can be 1 year. So even maybe more than 1 year, if they're looking for the very good quality of the product. So after the 12 months, and then they collect the liquid, the dark liquid, because they need to collect. Maybe normally after the 12 months, the product will become a liquid, and then they collect the liquid, add with some ingredient. As mentioned, the ingredient is tamarind juice, palm sugar, etc., and boil. In boiling process, and filter to separate the residue to get this the good liquid of the product, and cool, and then bottling. And then product is not only available in wet market, in traditional market, but also available in the supermarket, because it's more popular among the Malaysian people. So this is the quality. So Malaysian government already put the regulation for this kind of the budu. So it's stated that protein of in the budu must be not less than 5%. is a 5% is a must be not less than 5%, and then the salt level must be not be lower than 15%. So you can see this one, the different grade of voodoo come with protein content that fulfills the requirement, because as mentioned, the protein content must be more than 5%. So this one is there are some of the characteristics of the voodoo. As I mentioned, the pH is between less leaded acid pH, because the pH is lower than 7 for the pH of the voodoo. So the microcosm is a predominant bacteria in initial state of the fermentation. After that, the predominant bacteria is belong to Staphylococcus. And in order to accelerate the fermentation process, so we can add some producer add with the protease enzyme. We can add with enzyme from outside in order to accelerate the process. So we don't need to wait until the 12 months, can be 6 months only or 5 months, but we need to add with the enzyme in order to accelerate the fermentation process. So for this time being the development of the voodoo, they produce a powder form of the voodoo. So for easy of the people to bring the voodoo, the powder form is voodoo is also available in just a small scale. So the next product is cincalok. Cincalok also
Excuse me, 3 minutes remaining.
Okay, just finish. Cincalok is also use the same small shrimp synthesis. Yeah? So the color of the cincalok, we can easy to differentiate the color of the product, because the color is tinny pink shrimp sauce. Tinny, the color is pink, so we can easy to identify, and we still can see the form of the raw material used, which belong to the small shrimp synthesis. It's a picture, so you can see this one, the small shrimp look like udang, the shrimp, the small shrimp synthesis. We can see still can see the form of the raw material, and then this kind of product we can use as an ingredient. We add for the preparation of the eggs, the omelette, something like that. So the product how to produce is simple. Make usage and then conduct the fermentation for 20 to 3 days. It can be more, but normally the fermentation is conducted for 20 to 3 days. And the color is sometimes the producer also add with the tomato sauce in order to attract the customer to buy this kind of product. So this kind how they produce like a different colors. It depends. Sometimes they use a tomato color in order to attract the customer to buy this kind of the product. So this kind they put some regulations. The protein content must be not less than 10% of the protein content for the cincalok. So the pakasam is normally is only produced around the Perak and Penang only. So use a different kind of the freshwater. So the only freshwater used for the fresh fermented is belong to pakasam. Yeah, the pakasam. You can see the form of the fish. You can see the product is available in around the Penang and also Perak. Yeah. This is how to produce the pakasam. Fermentation can be 2 to 3 days, but actually for the premium quality of pakasam, the fermentation need to conduct for more than 3 months. Can be 3 to 4 months. But in order to produce a very good quality, premium quality of the pakasam, and for the pakasam, we need to add with the rice powder in order to provide energy for the microbial, for the bacteria for the fermentation. So the fermentation, 2 cycle of fermentation. First fermentation can be 2 days, and second can be 2 3, but can be longer. You want to produce a good quality of the pakasam. This product pakasam, you can see the bottom. So the last product is that only available in Sabah is boso. So boso only produced consumed among the Kadasan Dusun Sabah. They use a repurpose, they use then add with the biji payang, pengi seed powder, the biji powder or picung or biji keluak in Indonesia. In Indonesia we call it biji payang. So they what do you call it, after they put the piece in the bottle and then add with some ingredient and keep for the fermentation process for 6 to 12 months, can be 1 year in order to produce a good quality of the boso. So isn't the dominant organism that by tolerant for the is Lactobacillus plantarum and the Bamysohaceae. It's a product of the boso, as mentioned, is only available in Sabah among popular among the Kadasan Dusun people. The Kadasan people still can see. It depends to the fermentation step is a fermentation is shorter, and then we can still can see the raw material. But if the fermentation can take longer, so the product will belong to liquid, so we cannot identify the pieces anymore. I think its conclusion, Malaysian fermented fish product that provide sustainable diet for the Malaysian people normally consists 5 types, yaitu bekasam, fresh water fish, cincalo from the film fish, boso, also fresh water fish, which belong to Noranizan, with salt and also with rice. In budu, only with salt, and also belacan, which belong to the sea coral fish. So the quality of the product is varied, depend on the type of material ingredient, the production method, the salt content, and duration of the fermentation. As mentioned, duration can be 3 months, can be 12 months. So depend. The longer the duration of fermentation, the good quality of the product, and continuous improvement and development of the product is also that of that of local is still in progress. I think it's all for the detail of the information is available in my chapter in Handbook of the Animal-Based Fermenter and also Perfectionist, and also in my book in Indonesia Laut and Bahan Makanan Kita. Okay, thank you, Dr. Amir. Sorry for the delay of the presentation.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nurul. Very interesting topic, fish fermentation technology for sustainable diet, especially for Malaysian people. There are many products from fish fermentation, but the fish consumption, the consumption, it is very low. It is the interesting one. Okay, we will discuss more after the third speaker. Okay, I'd like to invite the third speaker, Dr. Nurfitri Ekantari. Nurfitri Ekantari, she gave us a topic about consumer-oriented product development from Spirulina. Okay, Dr. Nurfitri Ekantari, 30 minutes for you. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Amir. Can you hear my voice clearly?
Okay, clearly.
Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and good evening for European. And thank you for this opportunity to me to give share our knowledge about Spirulina arthospira platensis. We talk about the focus in consumer-oriented product development. Okay, the outline of the presentation is the first is Spirulina as superfood, and then the obstacle of Spirulina, we can talk about microcystin, uronic acid, and sensoric, and then how to masking agent work and encapsulation and product development, and the last is future result. Okay, this is the figure is the biorefinery model for microalgae processing. When we talk about the spirulina, we can talk the first is how to cultivate the spirulina or arthospira platensis. There are many opportunity to do this because it's a very simple and cultivation using carbon dioxide and need to light and water. And then we can see this is a raw material, and then we can see about the processing. There are harvesting, the first harvesting like the first picture, and the dewatering, and then extraction. Maybe if you want to extract some functional food or some functional compound. And we can see that algae residual biomass is can use as a fertilizer or biogas or biofuel. So we can divide in extraction or a whole biomass, and it can be added as a pigment carotenoid, and then a polyunsaturated fatty acid, antioxidants, vitamins, lipids, and other. And then the calcium spirulan is extraction using a dialysis, and it has a medicine effect. So we can talk later. Okay, talking about the biology of spirulina, we know that spirulina or Artospira platensis is photolitho autotroph, and it uses carbon dioxide as its carbon source, and in alkaline pond and lake, pH 9 until 11. And then the alkaline salt is sodium carbonate and bicarbonate. And then aplatensis is production of oxygen rate 1.2 until 2.4 gram oxygen per meter per hour. Okay, and then the shape of Artospira is helical and individual multiple, and then superstructure is the helical multicellular trichome, and its short cellular chain of 2 until 4, and then begin new trichome. And then the ecology and food, this is a superfood. Why it called a superfood? Because it's easily digested protein and have some phytochemical. We can know that 65% of protein, and comparing with plant source, this is superior to all plant sources of protein. And then cyanobacteria, because Artospira platensis is cyanobacteria. It has high yield compared to the primary agricultural crops. 8 times for corn, soybean, and egg. So it's a very easily and very simple to produce Artospira platensis. We can see that why it's it called superfood. There are protein 60% until around 60%, and then lipid. It has a linolenic acid and then carotene and zeaxanthin. It's very important in as a functional food. And then we can see this is the protein, and then the gamma linolenic acid, and then the carbohydrate has a crude fiber, so it has a capacity to support in calcium absorption and to support in gut intestinal tract. And then it has iron and calcium in a high content. Okay. This is the functional compound. It has a medicine effect like antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, immunostimulant. There are many researchers that has revealed the medicine benefit of Spirulina platensis as a immunomodulant, antithrombin, anti-cancer, antiviral, reduce hyperlipidemia and hyperglycemic, and protective in osteoporosis. And there are many researchers that said about the antioxidant activity. This is only the sample of the research of the author that study in antioxidant activity. So we can see this is the picture is the traditional spirulina. It comes from Africa. So we call it dihe. So spirulina was collected from floating on small lake or ponds, and then dried, and then broken into pieces and sell. So it can overcome the protein nutrition. Okay, nah, this is the difference of the color of Spirulina platensis. It has the effect of the cultivation, and then it can affect the bioactive compound, and then drying method influence the color. We can see that the humidifier, this is a laminary, and then drying in 50 degrees Celsius. This is S is seawater, the cultivation in seawater, and F is the cultivation in freshwater. There are 4 types of drying. The first is dehumidifier, and then spray drying, and then oven and sun drying. The composition is very low in sun drying like antioxidant activity. We can see that freshwater in oven, it has what is it? Light color. Okay. And we can talk about the constraint of using Artospira platensis. There are microcystin and nucleic acid content. So the microcystin contamination by other cyanobacteria when biomass are harvested from the wild and also in open system. Nah, in industry, they protect to avoid the microcystin or contaminants because the cultivation is an open system. The industry, it doesn't use cultivation in photobioreactor because it high production cost. And then the nucleic acid content, it varies between 4 until 6.5%. For safety constraint, biochemical degradation of purines lead to uric acid. Now, uric acid, it can cause gout attacks and urinary stones. So, this is the lack of application of Spirulina platensis. But WHO recommends that the daily total nucleic acid consumption in human should not exceed 4 grams. So, we can avoid the nucleic acid content, or we can avoid gout attack because 4 grams consumption is equivalent with 100 gram microalgae biomass. Okay, but people didn't use or didn't consumption about the 100 gram microalgae biomass. So this is the toxicity. The 10 until 40 gram per day consume about the biscuit in Africa, it's okay. And then the safety of Artospira, we can know about food regulation of most country is okay. Example, Europe and Australia. In US, it general recognized as safe since 81st. And then as a dietary supplement, it can be a powder, capsule, or tablet in the low dose below 10 gram per day. So we can say that this is the safety Artospira in human consumption. So when it incorporated in food product, especially in food and beverage, so we can say how many concentration about the Artospira patensis, because the other constraint to apply Artospira is the sensory effect. So we can say this is the safety to the aquatoxicity studies in mice, 10 gram per kilogram per body weight per day were not a toxic effect, and the single dose in 100 milligram per kilogram in rats did not affect body weight, organ, and histological parameter. And then subchronic toxicity when applied 120 milligram per kilogram body weight per day during 12 weeks with no adverse effect. So we can believe that it safety to consumption to consume about the Artospira patensis. So Bigagli et al. Say that adding 20 gram in 100 gram of diet, it all of the blood biochemistry is normal. We can see that creatine milligram per deciliter. We can say the control is about 0.34, and then this is using apatensis 0.35, and then using diet with Artospira patensis, we can say that the high density lipoprotein is higher than control. So it's so that there are very interesting about there are many benefits about the consumption of Artospira. So why I show the picture, because I believe that let food by the medicine and medicine by the food. So our food should be our medicine and our medicine should be our food, because the physiology effect when we take some medicine as a supplement, so we feel that we are not healthy. But when food as a medicine, so we feel that food is our medicine or our health, our healthiness. Okay, the constraint of aftertaste and taste in spirulina is about the bitter taste and aftertaste, and then fishy odor. The bitter taste and aftertaste, Dewi et al. Said that it cause of the amino acid, valine, leucine, isoleucine, methionine, phenylalanine, tyrosine, arginine, and histidine. And then because abundant in a mineral, so ferric, abundant in spirulina can reduce customer preference. Okay, we can say that. So how to improve or how to develop about the food with adding spirulina? We can say the first is masking agent. What is masking agent? Masking agent is something that we use to masking undesirable flavor in food and beverage, and the right combination of different agents. Masking agents work in different ways depending upon what they are masking and the food application. There are some samples that it can be as a masking agent. The first is sugar, and the second is cinnamon, and then chocolate. Okay, this is a cinnamon as a masking agent. We can see that this is the time intensities attributes of spirulina and cinnamon flavor, and spirulina on spirulina ice cream. We can see that the ratio of spirulina and cinnamon, we can see that 1 and ratio in 1 and 0.2 or 1 and 0.3. We can see that the intensity maximum that stimuli received by the sense, the curve is bigger than spirulina. We can see in the ratio of 1 and 0.2, we can see that cinnamon has have a bigger curve area, so it can use as a masking agent, because cinnamon flavor can cover the spirulina aftertaste or spirulina fishy odor. We can see that in the ratio of spirulina and cinnamon in this graph, we can see that in the ratio of 1 until 0.3, we can see the taste is sweet, so the bitter is disappear. This is a Yazdi cupcake Irania. We can see there's a cinnamon cinnamon as a masking agent. We can see this is the control, and then this is the cinnamon without spirulina, and this is the cinnamon and use spirulina. We can see that enriched with spirulina, we can increase the calcium and ferric. And then the conclusion with cupcake were not significantly different from control. Cinnamon enhanced sensory evaluation. And then the conclusion is marketed. What is the mean? The mean is the product is can go to market because it has high nutritional and desirable texture and flavor. So the other research show that calcium bioavailability from Artospira patensis has higher than calcium carbonate and high milk. So it's a very important to use spirulina as a source of calcium. So encapsulation, because encapsulation can covering the taste, the aftertaste, and encapsulation we do in our research is to extract crude carotenoid, and then we capsulate it in a cell wall and apply to product. We choose a chocolate bar. So we can see the appearance of dark chocolate with and without spirulina, and milk bar with and without spirulina. We can see there are no difference in color. We can see the consumer preference for dark and mixed chocolate spirulina is not significant between dark chocolate and dark spirulina, and then milk chocolate and milk spirulina. The dominant profile of aroma and chocolate flavor between a fortified product and control similar component. So the encapsulation is not what is it? It's not it doesn't affect to customer preference. Okay, we can talk about the new product development process, because there are many food product usually we can found in our market, and then the new product development process in spirulina is how to edit spirulina in product, and we need to commercialization. Also the fuzzy front end, this is a very long time to do this, is idea generation, concept development, and concept screening. And then after that, we can improve our product development, and we can see the positioning about the development. And then we can decide how to plan marketing, and then how to test marketing, and then we can go to commercialization. So the difficult step is in a prototype and go to a prototype. So this is a very complex. We use about the technology science, about the creativity, and then we use a process development. And then we have a prototype in lab scale, and then we can do in subjective, objective, and evaluation. After that, we can choose the development which is the product that our choose, and then we can make a prototype or semi-scale up product. So this is depend on the customer evaluation need, because when we make some product and it doesn't meet with the customer need, so the product is failed in market. Okay, this is Artospira enrichment Artospira. There are many effects, because added fortified Artospira patensis can reduce yeast and mold, and then reduction of oxidation and higher quality of strudel. This is the range of fortified is around 1% weight per weight. So we can see that bread which is the fortified with spirulina in 2% until 6%. In vitro protein digestibility is higher. So why it's spirulina is a superfood. So bread may be encouraged to improve higher nutritional and to overcome the nutritional deficiency. Okay, this is 3 types of food that customer oriented product development. The first is ravioli or filled pasta. This is spirulina filled on sushi and spirulina jackie. Spirulina jackie is a layer that it looks like a beef jerky, but it produced from Spirulina platensis. Why the other choose about the ravioli, sashi, and jerky? Because the benefit about the health, sustainability, and innovation. For ravioli, they state that low in calorie and then high in minerals and antioxidant. And sushi it with fish filling, and then we can issue about the harmful of health. And spirulina does not contain any mercury. And about the jerky, in addition to its high protein content to satisfy your hunger, the jerky spirulina is similar with dihe or cookies from Africa. And then for sustainability, that we talk about sustainability protein source than meat, because the production of the protein from spirulina is lower than from meat. And then sushi, the issue is sustainable source of protein than fish. And then jerky beef cause climate damaging of carbon dioxide when we cultivation about the beef. Okay, and then about the innovation, spirulina pasta is an edible innovation. Okay, thank you. Sushi and jerky trendy snack with a special taste. And then this is how they choose the novelty, interest, and then overall linking. They choose about the first is pasta, and then about sushi, and the last is jerky. For knowledge of spirulina, they state that France more than Germany and more than Dutch. So the Dutch is very lower for knowledge about the spirulina. This is the factor on consumer perception about the bakpia. We can say that the perceived health benefits of Spirulina platensis, customer experience and knowledge about Spirulina platensis, subjective norm. There is an uncertainty of new product perceived by customer and food neophobia. We can see that a direct influence of customer perception about the subjective norm and food neophobia. This is a direct influence of customer perception about the product fortified by Artospira. Comparing with commercial product, we can see that people choose about the chocolate bar and then chips spirulina, and that white chocolate, popcorn, and energy bar and chewiness. And then beverage, they choose smoothies to edit with spirulina and juice and kombucha. And for dessert, they choose about the pudding, ice cream, and mochi. And this is bakpia spirulina platensis versus bakery product. The first is cheesecake and the second is bakpia spirulina. And then the product is pancake, biscuit, muffin, and cookies. Biscuit and cookies, there are many research how to refill or how to research about the fortified with spirulina. So in the frequent customer choose in enrichment spirulina patensis, we can see that ice cream is the first, and then bakpia, and then pudding, etc. Also, we can improve development about the ice cream with fortified with spirulina. So the future research is important about how to make a product with Artospira patensis fortification that is accepted by most of the panelists, because for the previous research we can see that the panelists is only choose in the middle of the scale. So how to increase the accepted about panelists in taste or in sensoric evaluation. And the second is how to provide knowledge related to superfood from spirulina at various age level. It can evaluation about the needs of customer in the various age level. It can be in infants of baby, in children and teenagers, adult and parents. So it's a baby maybe in a poor, and children maybe from the cookie maybe, and teenager maybe a fit bar, adult also in adult and a parent. How to reduce some sugar, and we have the benefit to lower about the lipidemia or cholesterol. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nurfitri Ekantari. It is interesting topic about consumer-oriented product development from spirulina or Artospira patensis. Spirulina is superfood, but there are limitations. If we use or consume spirulina, because there are some limitations, for example, as fishy odor and also aftertaste. So we have to develop the product. So spirulina will our consume, and then safely and also interestingly. Okay, thank you, Dr. Nurfitri. Ladies and gentlemen, and all participants. The next time is we have time to discussion. Please give comment. You can give comment or question directly by use mic, or you can give question or comment and chatting. Okay, maybe I will give the first one if you have question or participant. Okay. In the chat room, there are two questions. Now, first question for Dr. Huda. What should be considered if we want to export the fermented product outside the country? Okay. Please, Dr. Nurul. I think you can.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Amir. Also, thank you to Dian Rizka for the question. What should be considered if we want to export the fermented product outside the country? So we need to fulfill the regulation. So normally for the fermented product facing problem is the histamine content. Histamine content is one of the important criteria for the quality of the fermented product, because normally sometimes we put in the producer mindset. Look like if we use if we produce fermented product, we can use any low quality of raw material. Because if looking for the profit, then the producer will use a low quality of raw material in order to reduce the cost. But the risk if the producer use the low quality of the raw material, the histamine content will be much higher. Because once the histamine is formed, it cannot destroy with any processing equipment. So histamine content is very important. We need to make sure for the fermented fish product, the histamine content must be below than the regulation. I think this is the most important thing that we need to consider even to export the product to overseas for the histamine content. The second part is a salt content, as mentioned, because people know looking product with lower salt content. So maybe we need to find a way how to replace our salt by the use of salt or to reduce the use of salt during the production of the fermented fish product. I think these are two things that we need to consider if we want to export the fermented product to the outside of the country. Of course, for the flavor and taste, it must be specific. So must be a specific taste and the flavor of the product. So histamine and also the salt content we need to consider, based according to my opinion, Dr. Amir. Okay, thank you, Dr. Amir.
Okay, thanks for Dr. Nurul. I think it's very clear what is the important thing to be considered if we export the fermented product. Okay, there are check question number 2 for Dr. Nurfitri Ekantari. Why the color of freshwater spirulina is greener than of marine spirulina after being spray dried? And then, is the proximate result from those two different? And then, how to know your opinion about the most promising use for spirulina, for food or cosmetic ingredients? Okay, Dr. Nurfitri.
Yes, thank you for the question, Pak Amir. Thank you for Ms. Indrian Rizka Amalia for the question. Yes, the color of freshwater spirulina is greener than the marine spirulina after being spray dryer or after being a dehumidifier, because there are some different about the proximate analysis. The first is minerals. The higher minerals we found at seawater cultivation. And then, okay. And then it's okay. And I want to know your about the most promising use for spirulina for food or cosmetic ingredients. So for me as a food scientist, so I will answer about the food is promising use for spirulina. And this is in recent years in Indonesia, we can what is it? We increase about the food product that combine or that fortified with spirulina as a dyeing agent or as a nutritional benefit. So when we talk about the let food as the medicine, so I choose the food. But because this is as a supplement, industrial of spirulina produce the first is as a supplement, but when we take a supplement, so the psychological effect is take some medicine, so we didn't feel healthy, but we are the sick people. Maybe this is my answer. Thank you, Mr. Amir.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nurfitri, for answer, and I think it's clear. And the third question, this is for Dr. Nora from Hamsi Ahmad from Australia. HPP is one of technologies to reduce the microbial load of different spoiling bacteria. and pathogen in fish or seafood. The question is, what is the most limitation you find when using this method compared than other methods such as irradiation or ozone and etc. Okay, please, Dr. Nora.
Thank you, Ms. Kamsia, for the question. This is a very good question. Yes, HPP, ozone, and also irradiation are all under the non-thermal group, meaning the treatment to inactivate microorganisms using no heat, but using other types of inactivation methods. Okay, let me talk about irradiation and ozone first. Irradiation uses either X-ray, electron beam, or gamma ray, and it's very effective, especially if you use gamma ray or X-ray. It's very effective to inactivate bacteria, pathogens, and so on because of penetration power. However, using these technologies, the manufacturer needs to go to a facility which has this technology, and it's not easily available depending on the country. And another hurdle would be customer acceptance, because in Malaysia, I'm not sure about Indonesia, but in Malaysia, there's been so many research on whether or not customers would eat irradiated food, and most of the case, people are not willing. In terms of ozone, one of the major issues is the odor or the smell after the treatment, and this is undesirable to customers. For HPP, to inactivate microorganisms is not as effective as irradiation because it cannot do away with spores like what I mentioned in my presentation. And for seafood products, HPP has a limitation when it comes to the protein part, where if you remember the photo on salmon, there's change in texture, color of the product above 300 megapascal. So it's a balance between safety, quality, and also texture. Above 300, you get better kill. Below 200, of course, lesser kill, but texture, appearance, and quality-wise, below 300 megapascal, it's way better than above 300 megapascal due to the change in the protein structure. I hope that answered your question.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nora, for your answer. Are there any questions? We have enough time to discussion. So maybe another participant have comment or question? Dr. Nurul, how to increase, even though there are many benefits if we consume the fish fermentation product, but the consumption of fermented product is very low. So how we can increase this consumption, Dr. Nurul?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Amil. As I mentioned previously during my presentation, yes, in general, only 1-2% say contribution of the fermented fish product for the total fish consumption among Malaysian people. But 1-2% is quite big, Dr. Amil. One is a company to produce voodoo, produce is able to produce more than 10 million bottles per year. One of the company, the largest budu producer in Malaysia, which belongs to Ekantari, the brand, is able to produce more than 10 million bottles per year, only for the budu. Only budu. So it look like 1% is quite small, but actually in Malaysia the fish consumption is quite high. The fish best consumption is Malaysia is quite high. It can make it 60 kilogram per person per year. So the way how to promote, we need to promote the benefit of the fermented fish product among our people, and also maybe need to conduct some to use this kind of the product in many product. Look like as mentioned. The example for the shrimp paste from the belacan or terasi. So we can add as ingredient for the nasi goreng, fried rice with shrimp paste, or fried drumstick, fried chicken with terasi, with belacan, with shrimp paste, something like that. So we need, then with this strategy, we will able to increase the use, the consumption of the fermented fish product among the people with good promotion. I think we need to find a way how to promote the product, because maybe some people are not really aware about this kind of the product, Dr. Amir. And also maybe we need to find a way to export. As mentioned, in Malaysia, the budu also export to China, and also to Dubai, and also to UK. This kind of the fermented product is quite popular among the Chinese people and UK and also Dubai people.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nurul. Okay, maybe have another question or comment? Okay, Dr. Prima. There is a question from Dr. Prima Putra to Dr. Nora.
It's about energy needed for HPP. Is it comparable to other methods? Okay, it's a little bit difficult to answer this question because it also depends on the capacity of the equipment, because HPP has many different sizes, and the vessel size or the volume of the vessel would be different, and we use water as a medium for pressure. So most of the consumption is for water, and then you need pump to pressurize the whole tank. So energy wise, if you minus the water, it's not that much. And normally HPP is not done together with a high temperature. So so it's hard to compare to the other equipment, well, because it's got the element of water as well. And the larger the equipment, of course, you use a lot more water. So, but this water can be recycled. So it's quite, you can say it's a green technology. Yeah. And the product that comes out of a HPP processing is usually a premium product because it doesn't have the negative effect of heat. So your product is almost as natural, only with lesser microbial counts. So the product that comes out of this technique or processing could be sold at a higher price compared to the normal products. So it's premium product. Again, like the third speaker mentioned, if nobody buys your product, it's considered fail in the market. If it doesn't fulfill with the need of the customer, it will fail. So for HPP product, the manufacturer really need to know who's the target group, who's the target market. If you produce, for example, HPP tempeh, and tempeh is so cheap, and you want to sell it at a high price, you cannot sell it to the normal public. You got to sell it to maybe visitors, or maybe you go outside the country and bring it as souvenir, packed nicely, and then you can have a very expensive product being sold to the right customer. So again, whatever product that we produce, we need to ask the final question: who are we selling this product to? Because that would does it fit in with the need of this customer or not? That's why I started my presentation with photo of that boy in the supermarket. It's about filling the needs of customers. Okay, I hope I answered your question.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nora. Are there any questions? We have 5 minutes remaining. If there are any questions.
Can I ask a question to Dr. Nurfitri?
Okay, please, Dr. Nora.
I was just wondering how that bakpia with spirulina, how does it look like? Is it green in color, or is it acceptable to customers?
Yes.
It is. Is it
Yes,
bright
it
green?
is.
Okay. So
Yes.
even after you bake bakpia, right? Or you fry, it's baked, right?
Maybe the size about maybe about 30 grams. I don't know. Just about around 25 or 20 until 25 grams, and then the filling is from a mung bean and then fortified with spirulina. And
So you put the spirulina in the filling. It's not the bakpia outside.
no,
Okay,
it's not the wrap, but the filling.
okay.
Yeah. Because spirulina is heat is not heat stable, so we fortified when the filling is going to warm, and then we fortified the spirulina patensis, and the people or the panelists like about the bakpia with the filling with the spirulina. They choose,
So it
yes.
jars well with the mung bean paste.
Yeah, with mung bean, it's around about 2.5%, and we conduct the various treatment from 0.5. The interval is 0.5 and until 3%. It's 2% until 2.5% is the most people like. And then when adding up around 0.5 until 1%, they said they do not like the bakpia, and we surprised about the result. They like bakpia with fortified spirulina, then control. So I think this is a marketable, and we can choose to development product about the bakpia using spirulina. Maybe they thought about the what is it? We call it about the green tea maybe, but this is from Spirulina patensis. In ice cream manufacturer, spirulina used as a dyeing agent, and then they mix with green tea in industrial in Yogyakarta. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, you're
Okay,
welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Nurfitri. Dear participant, because time is over, so I would like to give some point from this discussion. We just finished discussion about sustainable processing technology to produce climate-friendly seafood. There are 3 topics. The first topic about non-thermal technology to promote seafood clean processing. This is very important. How we can how we have to serve clean processing, because consumer demand is clean label, also clear label. And also the second topic about fish fermentation technology. This is the how about fermentation, fish fermentation technology, the benefit and also the limitation. And then the third one is about consumer-oriented development. Even fish product there are many benefits, but how to consume, how to use people, we have to develop the product. So the benefit of fish product can be consumed and make benefit for our body. Okay, thank you for 3 participants, and we have big applause for 3 speakers. And then before we finish this session, the committee will take picture. Please, the committee.
Okay, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to capture the screen. Please turn on your camera. Okay, there are 2 pages. I would like to capture the first page. 1, 2, 3. On the second page. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the committee, and thank you for Dr. Nora, Dr. Nurul, and Dr. Nurfitri. I finished give lecture in this time. So on the behalf of committee, I'd like to thanks for your participation and your time. Thank you,
very
and
much.
see you another time. And I will give to the committee for the next agenda.
Thank you, Dr. Nora. Thank you, Dr. Nurul. Thank you, Bu Vivit.
You welcome, Pak Mohd.
Okay, thank you to UGM for the pen from UGM, also to Dr. N, and Dr. Nurfitri and Dr. Noranizan, all N.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Very observant.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Yes, Dr. Nurul, the picture is very, very nice. Make me hungry. I just imagine about the taste, and when it incorporate in nasi goreng. Oh.
Maybe we can send to you. Try to send to you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Nora. That's also very interesting talk about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The time can we left? Can I left?
Okay, yes.
Okay, yes,
Thank you very
Dr.
much.
Nurul.
Okay, I left because I'm in KK.
Okay, see you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ame. Thank you, Dr. Nurfitri.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Pak Muhammad Toko. Okay, Assalamualaikum ya.
Waalaikumsalam.
Jumpa lagi.
Waalaikumsalam.
Jumpa lagi
Okay,
ya.
see you. Yeah.
Astagfirullah.
See
Okay,
you.
for the participant, the next agenda is after 4:15 p.m. ya.
Yang cuma rawon. Tuh. Kalau nggak ya aku. Serap juga. Oh, enggak maksudnya
Aku pengen rawon.
yang apa?
Indian here.
Yeah, sounds clear, Pak Prima.
Okay, so it's nice to see you here, everybody. I see 30 participants still in this Zoom meeting. Thank you very much. My name is Muhammad Prima, and I will be your instructor for this afternoon session. So, like at the previous meeting, we have a discussion. It should be a video from the participant, but today we have another video that we will show you. Before we show the video, I want to greet Kamsia Ahmad from Australia. Good afternoon. Are you still there? Or Mr. Triat Moko Edi from Indonesia. Are you still there? Mr. Triat Moko, can you hear my voice? Hello? Okay, and another Mr. Victor Adi Winata. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Oh, there's a Haria Bimasuci from UGM. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Oh, thank you. I want to greet also Mrs. Indrian Rizka Amalia. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Iren Yasmin. Mrs. Iren Yasmin. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Oh, we still have an international participant, Enyo Jonathan Uguela. Good afternoon.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, thank you.
Uh,
Oh, we also have from Myanmar, Mr. Nain Yewin. Thank you. So, okay. So, please, the IT committee, you can share the video. So this video, yeah, we have one video for a discussion this afternoon session for about fermentation. So please enjoy the video, then we will have some discussion about the fermentation. This is a fermentation product from Indonesia and also popular in Malaysia, or maybe in Myanmar. There's also this kind of fermentation product. For IT team, can you share the video? Okay. Let's see the video. Okay, thank you, IT. So for
Halo
those who
Mas
came,
Prima.
oh Bindun, thank you
I'm
very
so
much. Already joined. So I will continue for a bit.
okay.
Bindun. So for those who came from Indonesia, I'm sure you already know what was that by reading the text. So I want to ask for the international participant, not from Malaysia, maybe the Malaysian people also know. For Myanmar, Mr. Naing Yewin, can you guess what kind of product from the video before, Mr. Naing Yewin? Hello, Mr. Naing Yewin? Oh, internet trouble maybe. Okay, the other international participant, Mr. Enyo Jonathan Ukuela. Hello?
Hello, yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you guess what kind of product?
Yes, it's a big guess because I wasn't really understanding the
Okay.
the video. Yeah, but I was thinking maybe that could be fish oil.
Oh, fish oil. It's close. Yeah, a little bit
Okay.
like oil.
All
But
right.
actually, it's a fish sauce. Yeah, fish sauce.
Wow.
So we are showing you the video of how to make a fish fermented product named fish sauce. Thank you very much, Enyo Jonathan.
All right,
What
you're
time
welcome.
is there now?
Hello?
Hello, what time now?
Okay. Actually, I'm in Malaysia.
Oh, you're in Malaysia. Okay.
Yes, I'm in Malaysia. So it's
5:30.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Okay, Dr. Inden, can you continue?
Yes, maybe I wonder, Mr. Enyo, can I continue asking some question? Where you come from?
Yeah, I'm from Nigeria. I'm
Nigeria.
schooling at UMT, University Malaysia, Terengganu.
Okay. Do you have similar fermented product in your country, fish sauce?
Yeah, we do. We do have similar products, but the method of processing differs, and I think it's also related to cultural processing methods too. So,
Okay, thank you. So I think fish sauce is one of the famous fermented product, and I'm sure that probably all over the world they produce fermented fish sauce regarding different method in the production. And the video that all the participants just seen is the traditional method in Indonesia how to make a fish sauce. Maybe I would like to know your opinion after you saw the raw materials. Yes, that is the viscera, the head of the fish, which is actually that is a waste. But in Indonesia, we use this waste to produce a fish sauce. Do you think after you see this method of production, do you think or what do you think about a fish sauce? Maybe I would like to have one volunteer would like to share their opinion. I want to hear from Indonesia, maybe Mas Prima. How do they think about fish sauce after they're knowing the process of the production?
Yeah, we have Triad Moko Edi that already turned on the video.
Okay, Mas Edi.
Well,
hello.
Hello, Windun.
How do you think about this production?
Okay, so after I watched the previous video, I think that it's quite amazing for me because my background actually not really comes from the fisheries production, but from the geoinformatics science for coastal management. So I think that it is amazing to see that, and I want to continue to hear what is the next discussion after this. Thank you.
Okay, but do you like fish sauce actually? or do you sometimes or maybe use it in your daily life?
I'm not really use that, but I love fish sauce.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Usually we use this sauce for the Oriental dish like the Chinese food or like Indonesian food also. Many of the dish using fish sauce. Thank you, Mas Edi.
You're welcome.
Okay, Mas Prima, can I have one question for the participants?
Yeah, please, Lyndon.
Okay, so after you see the process of the fish sauce production, do you notice that the one of the ingredients beside of the raw materials, which is the fish waste, we use salt and also pineapple. Yeah, pineapple is the main ingredient. So maybe one participant, do you know or do you have an idea what is the function of these two ingredients? Let we start with salt.
Yeah, it's interesting. We add salt also.
Yeah, what do you think the function of salt in this production? Mas Prima, do you have any name you would like to choose?
Ibu Indrian Rizka Amalia. I think Ibu Indrian Rizka is already always active.
Oh, okay, hello.
Okay.
Ibu
I don't.
Rizka?
Yeah, I don't know so much about food processing, but I think salt is more to natural preservatives. I think natural preservative
Wow.
or increase the flavor. I think. And for pineapple, I'm not sure about this, but when I was junior high school, my biology teacher, used pineapple extract to make nata de coco. So I think that has related with bacteria. I think.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Bu Rizka.
Yeah, good.
Very nice explanation.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe for the salt first. Previously, Bu Rizka said that salt is a kind of the food preservatives and also giving some flavor for the product. Fish sauce production. So salt played most important role to maintain or to control the quality of the fish sauce. Is that right, Mas Prima?
Yeah.
Yeah, so with salt, they actually in the process, it's protecting or the only some certain bacteria which is tolerant to salt can grow in this process. So this bacteria, this kind of bacteria is play an important role to change the nutrition, change the flavor in the fish sauce into the unique flavor for the fish sauce. So it's also have the preservatives effect, which can protect or inhibit the growth of pathogen and other harmful bacteria.
Yeah, because
am I correct, Mas Prima?
Yeah, because unfortunately the
additional...
pathogenic bacteria cannot live in a high salt concentration, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the second one, the pineapple function, it's closely to the correct for the answer of Bu Indri. Maybe other participant would like to add some information about the function of the pineapple. I believe that in tropical country, pineapple is famous fruit. We can use that for rujak or any other cuisine, but it's also useful for the production of fish sauce in traditional method. Probably participant from Malaysia, maybe, Mas Prima?
From Malaysia, yeah, we have from Malaysia, Shafiq Aiman. Are you still there?
Mas Shafiq, you are very
Ayman?
active. Are you there?
Mr. Shafiq Ayman? Okay.
Usually Mr. Shafiq always active.
Yeah, the other from Malaysia. You only have 2 from Malaysia.
Okay.
Or maybe
from Indonesia is also
from Indonesia
okay.
is also okay. Iren Yasmin? Mrs. Iren Yasmin, are you there? Oh, you're still on your work. That's great.
Still in the
Yeah,
full
yeah. You can
uniform.
ask your friend. Yeah, okay, okay. I know there's a lot of friends behind you. Yeah.
You can make a guess.
Yeah.
Wah,
Someone
oh
hate
iya
you.
tadi gue nggak unmute. Sorry.
Okay.
Really nice.
Okay. We are asking about the pineapple. Yeah. Do you
Sorry.
like pineapple?
Yes, I like.
So can you guess why pineapple was added in the fish sauce?
I had asked you my friend, but nobody knows what the pineapple for in kecap asin make. Maybe for fermented or not. I don't know. I never make a kecap asin.
Okay.
Maybe guessing.
Yeah. Okay.
In here, there's a functional mutu. Maybe
Okay.
about pineapple for kecap asin.
Yeah. I'm sure he knows.
Yes.
It's very interesting. Okay.
Pengawet. What in English?
Preservatives.
It is for no. I don't know, Mrs. Indur.
Okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Thank
time out.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Iren.
Thank you, Miss Iren.
You're welcome. Sorry, and I'm sorry for Mr. Tihatmo for you still hate me.
Oh.
Oh, Mr. Shafiq is back, Mas Prima.
Oh, Mr. Shafiq, come back from
after
Asar.
praying.
Okay, Mr. Shafiq. We are now discussing about why we add pineapple in the processing of fish sauce. You have any idea, Mr. Shafiq?
Pineapple in a fish sauce, in my opinion, because I don't really know it also. Just my guess is to tenderize the fish flesh.
Tenderize the fish flesh. Nice try.
Almost there.
Oh, okay.
Almost there.
Maybe
Why do you
it's
think?
sour. Maybe it's because it's also like a preservative because of sour taste.
Preservative. Oh, close.
Mr. Shafiq, you said that for the tenderizing the fish, what do you think? Or why do you guess pineapple is for tenderizing fish?
Okay.
Do you have any other experience?
Because in Malay culture, normally if they want to cook like curry or whatever, when milk they meat like for ayat or whatever, they will put pineapple.
Okay.
Tenderize the milk. That's why I think it is for fish flesh tenderizing.
Okay.
It's from the daily usage.
Okay. Yes, that's right. Actually, it's close to the right answer. So, do you know what is inside the pineapple that can make the meat is tender?
Yeah, because there's some kind of compound. What we call it, an enzyme. I forgot the name of the enzyme.
Oh, close. Yeah.
Yeah. They will consume the flesh, something like that. That's why when we are eating pineapple, we feel that what we call that sharp taste, that like the pineapple eating our tongue.
Okay.
But I forgot the name of the enzyme.
Okay, thank you. Actually, that is different thing. Something eating your tongue and something tenderizing meat. Okay, but good answer. Nice try. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, Mas Prima, maybe you can give the correct answer.
Oh, we can ask for another participant. Okay. Oh, the participant is decreasing. Or maybe because we asked a lot of questions.
Maybe it's a very difficult question.
Okay. One other participant. Berta Putri? Is participant Berta Putri?
Hello.
Okay.
Miss Berta, are you there?
Okay. Then maybe Brendan can explain more.
Okay. You give that turn to me. Okay, so actually the function of the pineapple is close to the answer of Mr. Shafiq. So it has some enzyme. We call it bromelin or bromelin. So that is the enzyme in the class of protease. So this enzyme will react with the protein in the fish. So the protein in the fish, which is actually it is the complex structure, then it will be hydrolyzed or it will be simplified by this enzyme. So that's why in the fish sauce we can taste some unique taste, umami taste, like the six taste of our tongue. So umami, so it's in Indonesia gurih. It's not salty, not sweet, but it's umami, distinctive taste because of this enzyme. Is that correct, Mas Prima?
Yeah. Perfect. Well done.
Okay,
So
100
Mrs.
for me.
Eden, maybe you already know now the function of the pineapple. Thanks for this. Okay, thank you, Mr. Shafiq.
Actually, we can also use another enzyme. So pineapple is like the natural raw materials, but we can also use probably the commercial enzyme for this production in the probably modern method.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the explanation.
So,
and also I still have one question, Mas Prima. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
We
After
still
we
have,
add
50
all
minutes.
the ingredients, raw materials, which is the fish waste, viscera, fish head, and other waste, and also we add the salt and also the pineapple, then you can notice in the production, we put in the closed container to make sure that it is very close or it closed properly. You can see that they use the lakban,
The tape.
The tape, yes, the tape to close the container tightly. So it to make sure that no air coming inside to the container. Or what is the actually why do we have to keep this product or this process in a tight closed container?
Yeah, in anaerobic condition.
Yes. Is there any participant would like to make a guess?
Well, maybe Miss Irene want to get a revenge to answer the correct answer now. Why you have to keep the container in an anaerobic condition? Or in the opposite question, why we cannot open the container? Or what happens if we open the container? Oh, Mrs. Eden missing.
Hello.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I think one of the reasons.
Okay.
Yeah. I think one of the reasons is to avoid infection, like bacterial infection, like rancidity and infestation of bacteria. Yeah, there could be many other reasons, but I think that is one of it.
Okay, so that
How
is
was it?
one of the answer by making this closely tightly close the container is to protect the
From contamination.
outside into inside.
Yeah,
And we also
also
have another answer for this condition.
in the chat room we have Kamsia Ahmad Winun to
Oh
speed
yeah,
up the fermentation
from
process.
Australia to speed up the fermentation process. What do you think, Mas Prima?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Oh, we have Victor. Mr. Victor, just turn on the video. You have an idea why?
Hello.
Hello.
I think the one of reason why we close tightly the container is to minimize oxygen supply that can be degrade the enzyme that we want grow in next duration of processing the fish sauce.
So to prevent the oxygen inside the container, because the oxygen can degrade the enzyme. Is that your answer, Mr. Victor?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Okay, so the information that I catch is that the oxygen will probably oxygen can degrade the enzyme, which is the enzyme is the main what we call that, play the main role in the fermentation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice try.
Okay.
Okay.
The oxygen part is right, because we would like to delete all the oxygen inside the chamber, but actually the anaerobic condition which have to be maintained in the processing is because it's regarding to the process inside the fermentation. So in the fermentation process, actually the oxygen is not there, and also it's also prevent the growth of the other bacteria, usually the foliage and also the pathogenic bacteria, which is usually they need the oxygen to grow. So some kind the answer of Ibu Kamsia is closely to the correct, because the fermentation process can occur in that condition, so it can speed up those process. Is that right, Mas Prima?
Yeah.
Do you have any additional?
That's the question, and that's the answer for the question. Thank you, Windun.
Okay.
So I think we're running out of time, Windun.
We have, you can see that we have, they use like the sterilization process to sterilize all the container. They use the hot water, boiling water to sterilize the container before adding all the raw materials inside, because the fermentation process is really rely on the process of bacteria. So we need to delete, or we need to prevent other bacteria except the lactic acid bacteria, the proteolytic bacteria inside. So the sterilization process of the container is very important.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Eden.
Okay, I think that's all. Oh, probably Mas Prima, one more thing. Do you have any information about the health benefit of this fermented product?
Okay, so yeah, we have a lot of fermented product in Asia. So for the fermentation, always produce the short chain protein like polypeptide. So that, as you know, that the polypeptides always have functional properties. They have anti-cancer, they have anti-hypertension. So for those who have high tension of the blood pressure, maybe you can try, because this the peptide, the short chain peptide, also have the anti-hypertensive action. They also have antioxidant, I think. You know, maybe you want to add more information?
Yes, so beside of the health effect, actually also the main concern of the fermented product is the high salt content. Maybe this is one of the issue that in the I mean, because they have the health benefit, but in the other side they have the high concentration of salt. So maybe these two things is one of the challenging of the fermented product to be developed in the further. So keep eating fermented fish product around your area. So I think it's a good food source for our health. Okay, I think that's all, Mas Prima.
Yeah.
Or maybe other participant would like to share some information about fermented fish product in your local area.
Yeah, please. One or two participants from Malaysia. We have some participants from Malaysia. Maybe you can share.
I saw your presentation previously. You also tell us about fermented fish product in your country. If you have any other information for the production, is it the same? Is it do you use the same ingredients, or probably do you have any other interesting ingredients to be used? Mr. Shafiq?
Yes. Yeah, I think the ingredient that we use is like being mentioned before. I don't think they are special ingredient, because but normally like Perkasa we are using like the tilapia fish, the chromis. And for like Budu, I think it has been explained by Dr. Nurul, right? The same ingredient. They are no different. Maybe the species is a bit different, just that.
Okay.
Overall, I think it's mostly being explained by Dr. Nurul already.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Maybe there are one more thing, but not fermented, but it's also made from fish we call keropok leko, fish crackers.
Oh, cracker. Okay, keropok.
That one. We mix it from otoshimi.
Otoshimi?
Otoshimi is like we take one fish, we take fishes and like I forgot what the fish species. We remove the last bone, and then we put them in the machine that mix together all the small bone together. Then we froze it and we melt it into using hand by rolling into like fish cracker, and we fry it, or we can boil it.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. I can share the link. Okay. I think that's that I think that I don't share in the slide before, that keropok leko fish crackers. Other ones, nothing. That's all.
Oh, thank you.
We should go to Malaysia sometimes, Mas Prima.
Yeah.
To taste it.
Sure. Not only durian, but we also have to try. Yeah, the fermented fish.
Mas Prima, maybe one more participant from Nigeria.
Yeah, please.
Would like to know about the fermented fish in Nigeria. Mr. Enyo.
Even though you're in Malaysia.
Malaysia.
Mr. Enyo.
Are you still there, Mr. Enyo?
Oh, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, already 6 o'clock there.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Okay,
Brendan.
okay. Okay, so I think for this session, we have discussed some interesting small information about fermented fish sauce. Actually, we really hope that we can hear the fisheries in, what is that for today? Algeria and also from Bangladesh and Pakistan, but regarding or from the information of the committee, the presenter is not ready yet. So we really hope that next Friday we can hear those information. Okay, I will give. You are the one who opening, so you are the one closing.
Thank you, Dr. Indun. So we already came to the end of this today's session. Again, thank you very much for 22 participants. Thank you very much for your high eager to hear until the end of this session. So tomorrow we still have no, not tomorrow. Next week. Next week we still have another session, and I'm sure there's also interesting speaker next week. So please stay healthy, and we meet again next week. Thank you. Good afternoon, or good night, or good afternoon, good night also. Thank you.
Bye bye. See you.
See you next week.
Thank you, everyone.